Yeah, first off, what is a supermoon and why do they appear?
Yeah, so our moon, orbits the Earth, of course. You might know that the orbit of the moon is not perfectly circular. Instead, it's what we call an elliptical orbit, meaning that sometimes the moon is closer to the Earth and sometimes it's farther than the Earth. So basically, a supermoon is just a full moon that happens at the same time that the moon is closest to the Earth. So because it's closer, we see it just a little bit bigger in the sky. It's really not that much bigger. There's about a 14% difference in size from when it's farthest away from the Earth to when it's closest to the Earth. And supermoon is not something that astronomers really think about very much. It's actually a term coined by astrologers. But especially these days with all this science news and people, writing these articles, trying to get people excited about what's going on in the sky. They say, oh, there's a supermoon coming up, so make sure you go out and look at it.
And how often do we get to enjoy these supermoons?
Yeah, they actually are very common. We get 3 or 4 of them per year. It's just the way that it's, sometimes the moon's closer, sometimes it's farther away. If it just happens to line up, then we can call it a supermoon. There's actually something on the other end of the spectrum called a micromoon. That's the full moon that occurs when the moon is farthest away. We call these terms perigee and apogee, meaning closest to the Earth and farthest from the Earth. So it's very common. You see these articles written all the time like, oh man, supermoon, like it's this big hyped up thing, but it's actually, it's not particularly rare. But I mean, there are really exciting things that happen in the sky. Lunar eclipses, much more rarely can people see solar eclipses, but you might be able to see meteor showers. There's all kinds of things that astronomers would like people to go up. Hey, take a look, or Venus is up there right now, or Jupiter's up there, Mars. There's cool stuff that's not necessarily rare, but is nevertheless really kind of interesting to the casual observer. I love moons. It's a big part of what I do. So I never get tired of looking at the full moon or really any phase of the moon. It's all very exciting to me. But the supermoon thing, it comes up obviously quite often. We had a supermoon in June. We had a supermoon in May. And so I do worry a little bit that people kind of hear that this is a big thing that they've got to go out and see, and then it's ends up being a little bit of a letdown. We don't want to let people down by overhyping things that are not necessarily that uncommon.